Most entrepreneurs can't get these four essential nutrients from their diet alone, yet without them, your body is not going to perform well. You're more likely to have stress keep you up at night, have low energy throughout your workday, and have brain fog when you need to be at your best. So in today's video, I'll explain what these four nutrients are, how to make sure you have sufficient levels, and how to get more into your diet so you can have sustainable energy throughout your entire workday. Now, before we get started, I want to quickly introduce myself. My name is Trevor, and I help scaling entrepreneurs turn health into their unfair advantage. And we do this so you can perform better, feel better, and ultimately scale your business faster. Okay, let's get into it. The first nutrient most entrepreneurs are missing is magnesium. Your body can't make magnesium on its own. In fact, your body can't make any of these nutrients on its own. That is why they're called essential nutrients. But magnesium is involved in over 300 different processes. From energy production to nerve function, it is crucial for our bodies to perform well. Magnesium can help with restless sleep, reducing stress in an overactive nervous system, and sustaining energy throughout the day. Now, blood tests are not going to be great for checking magnesium because most of the magnesium does not live in your blood. Only about 1% is circulating in your blood, while the rest lives in your organs, your muscle, and your tissues. Now, there are some symptoms to tell if you are deficient in magnesium. If you get more headaches and migraines, you have heart palpitations, or you have muscle cramps, that can all be signs that you have a magnesium deficiency. But regardless, most people don't get enough magnesium for a couple of reasons. Firstly, it's hard to get magnesium from your diet alone. The highest food with magnesium is one serving of pumpkin seeds, and they have about 150 milligrams, but you need about 400 milligrams of magnesium a day. And another reason it could be hard to get magnesium is because the soil has been depleted of magnesium. So even if you're eating magnesium-rich foods, then you might not be getting enough magnesium because the soil has been depleted since the 1950s. I think it's been estimated that the levels have dropped by 25 all the way up to 80%. And another reason you might not be getting enough magnesium is because stress only accelerates the loss of magnesium, and most entrepreneurs are really stressed. Also, if you are having an extreme diet or doing extreme fasting, then you're more likely to lose more magnesium. So what I recommend you do is just supplement with magnesium. Take 200 to 400 milligrams of magnesium daily. Now, there are a number of choices you can make. There is daytime magnesium, and the ones I recommend for that are magnesium citrate and malate. And then for nights, what I recommend is taking glycinate because it usually makes you more relaxed, maybe a bit sleepy. So if you want to take magnesium glycinate, I'd take 200 to 400 milligrams 30 to 60 minutes before bed. And that is a great way to get magnesium into your body. Also, just want to mention when you start supplementing with magnesium, start at a smaller dose, something like 100 to 200 milligrams, and then work your way up. There aren't a whole lot of negative consequences of taking magnesium if you take magnesium in the recommended range, but initially you could see some GI issues, so that's why I recommend starting at a smaller dose. And also always talk to your doctor before starting any supplements. Next on our list is vitamin D, and vitamin D is what your body makes from sunlight, but it acts more like a hormone than a vitamin. Vitamin D affects so many different systems in your body, and it tells other systems what to do. Vitamin D regulates over 1,000 genes in your body. That's over 5% of your genome. And it can help with things like circadian regulation, which is heavily involved with our sleep and energy, mood and motivation, and immune function. And over 70% of Americans are low in vitamin D, especially entrepreneurs, because most entrepreneurs work 12, 16 hours a day in a room and don't get much sunlight like this fella here. There are also a number of factors that increase the likelihood you are deficient in vitamin D. One of those is age. A 20-year-old makes 4 times the amount of vitamin D from the sun than a 70-year-old. If you have darker skin, extra fat on your skin, you have GI issues, or you have an autoimmune disease, this can also decrease the amount your body is absorbing vitamin D. Another reason could be just genetic differences. Some people absorb vitamin D better than others. So the best way to actually tell if you are deficient in vitamin D is through a blood test. For the blood work, you want to test that's the inactive form of vitamin D. This is called 25-hydroxy vitamin D. And for an optimal range, you want that marker to be between 40 and 60 nanograms per milliliter. So your blood work comes back and it says you don't have enough vitamin D. There's a couple factors we want to think about to make sure we get sufficient levels of vitamin D. Firstly, you need enough magnesium. Magnesium is crucial for your body to utilize vitamin D. So make sure to supplement with magnesium. Next, you want to get magnesium mainly from sunlight and supplementation. Now, certain foods do contain vitamin D, but not in high amounts. Some of these foods include eggs, red meats, fatty fish. I think salmon includes like 900 IU of vitamin D, so it's not a bad source, but you want to be getting the majority of your vitamin D from sunlight and supplementation. Now, if you are getting vitamin D from sunlight, remember, if you are older or have darker skin, your body is going to make less vitamin D from sunlight, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't get sunlight. Sunlight is crucial for a number of other things besides vitamin D. Now, the main way that we're going to get vitamin D into our bodies, especially as entrepreneurs who spend most of their time indoors, is through supplementation. So you want to start with 2,000 to 5,000 IU of vitamin D3. And you want to take that supplement with a fatty meal because that's going to increase absorption. And you want to do this daily. Then 4 to 6 weeks from the time you start vitamin D supplementation, you want to retest your vitamin D levels. If they've gone up significantly, then you're doing good. If they have not, then you're going to need to increase the amount of vitamin D you're supplementing with. And that can be completely normal. Like we talked about, there can be genetic factors or other types of issues. Next up, we have B12. And B12 is what your body needs for converting food into energy. Without it, your body cannot properly utilize the foods it eats. So it is super crucial. Besides energy production, B12 supports your nervous system, mental clarity, and focus. Now, to check for B12 deficiency, you want to do some blood work. Most people test B12 serum, but what's more accurate is testing methylmalonic acid, or MMA, because methylmalonic acid tests the B12 in your tissues and cells, and that's where it really counts. So for this marker, you want your levels to be below 80 nanograms per milliliter. If your levels are above around 150 nanograms per milliliter, you are likely deficient in B12. Now, the easiest way to get enough B12 is through your diet. Things like liver, red meat, eggs, yogurt, shellfish, and clams. These are all high in B12. And other meats like turkey and chicken, they do have B12, but not as much as the darker, more nutrient-rich meats. And so what you want to do is eat meals with high B12 foods 2 to 3 times a day, and you're golden. You want to space out the meals and not eat all your B12 in one sitting because your body can only absorb so much B12 at a time. So it's better to space out your meals and just consistently have those high B12 foods like red meat, liver, eggs, yogurt. And if you can't get those foods in your diet, or you struggle to absorb B12 from animal proteins, then you can supplement with B12. You can take methyl B12. And what you want to do is take 500 to 1,000 micrograms a day, and you want to split that dose in half and take it twice a day. So if you're taking 500 micrograms of B12, you take 250 in the morning and then 250 in the late afternoon or evening. The last nutrient your body is probably missing is omega-3s. Omega-3s are an essential fat your body can't make on its own. And there are 3 main types. There is ALA, which comes from plants, and then there is EPA and DHA, which comes from marine sources. And these types of omega-3s are the ones your body needs. DHA is a major building block of your brain, and EPA helps you fight off chronic inflammation. Now, omega-3s help with brain fog, reducing chronic inflammation, and sustained focus. So they are crucial for your energy and performance. Now, you can run blood work to test if you are deficient in omega-3s. It's called the omega-3 index. And with that index, you want to be above 8% for optimal levels. If you're below 6%, you're likely deficient in omega-3s. But a much easier way to make sure you are not deficient in omega-3s is to eat a fatty fish or shellfish 1 to 2 times a week. So for fish, you want to eat things like salmon, mackerel, sardines. And then for shellfish, you can eat oysters, mussels, crab, squid. These all have high levels of omega-3s. Now, plant sources, they're not a great way to get the omega-3s you actually need. They're way less bioavailable. Your body has to convert this ALA omega-3 into EPA and DHA, and in that conversion, you only get about 5 to 10% of the omega-3s your body actually needs. So try to stick with animal sources. Now, if you hate fish or you can't eat fish, supplements work, but they can be tricky because finding a quality omega-3 supplement is really hard. With fish oils, a lot of them have been sitting on the shelves for months. They get exposed to light or high heats, and this can easily make the fish oils rancid. And you do not want rancid fish oils in your body. That is actually going to cause more harm than good. So the best way is through diet, but if you have to take a supplement, here is what I'd recommend. So you want to be taking 2,000 milligrams of an EPA DHA omega-3 fish oil mix, and you want to take that daily. Make sure to read the label to see how much omega-3s you're actually getting in each serving. You might need to take multiple servings to hit that goal. You want to go for a natural fish oil, and you want to take the fish oil with a fatty meal to increase absorption. And to find the best quality fish oils, go to international fish oil standards. Now, one thing I wanted to mention, if you're eating a lot of processed foods or seed oils, this is going to increase the amount of omega-6s that are in your body. And when you have a high amount of omega-6, it's going to be harder for your body to actually absorb and utilize the omega-3. So try to reduce the amount of seed oils and processed foods that you are eating. All right, that's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about this, feel free to drop them in the comments below. And if you'd like more personalized support with your nutrients and your overall health, then you can check the first link in the description to learn more about working with me in a one-to-one format. Thank you and have a great rest of your day.